What's up, guys? This is Keenan Kai. Welcome back to Keenan's Corner. Are you in it? So I wanted to talk today briefly about rife frequencies and why, as a targeted individual or as someone that has Morgellons, it's very important to listen to such a frequency. So if you've watched my channel or know anything about me, you know that in 2022, the government tried to assassinate me with graphene-laced parasites or nanobots, which is basically smart dust, being sprayed in the air. They failed miserably. And no matter how hard they try, they continue to fall flat upon their face. But so anyways, 2022, one day I'm sitting in my bathroom, just, I was actually smoking weed at the time, and just looking at myself in the mirror, as I do with my vanity. And next thing I know, I'm getting hit with a direct energy weapon, which for me, someone's been gang stalked for so long, it's really nothing new. And I was like, okay, whatever. Next thing I know, it kept going higher and higher. I kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, to the point where I actually even said, and usually I was like, come on guys, stop, you're cooking me. And I realized, oh, they're trying to kill me. So anyways, that was the first time in my life that I ever got death rayed. And the very next day, I'm not going to tell that whole story right now, because that's a whole story in and of itself. But they were death raying me with satellite beams, and they had activated the technology in my body that we all have in our body, including you. So, the very next day, I wake up, and I could feel literally thousands of parasites all throughout my body, wiggling in my lungs, in my brain, in my calf muscles, especially in my stomach, since that is where they breed from. And they started to blow up in my body and cause me great pain. And the satellites would triangulate upon them and control them and heat them up as they were laced with heavy metals in the body, combined with that. So anyways, a month or two goes by. I'm fighting for my life. I had driven to Montana, I'd driven back, I was staying in a shelter. I was trying to outrun the satellite beams that were cooking the shit out of me. They're everywhere, all along I-90, all along I-90, and so they were. So anyways, I ended up coming back, still getting cooked by my gang stalkers, by the governments controlling the graphene-laced parasite nanobots within my body. And well, luckily for me, I'm not going to tell the whole story because it can get so complicated. I don't want to throw people off. But I come to find out that these nanobots, these things that I can feel moving, are parasites. And it was recommended to me that a rife frequency could actually kill these things. And these things were driving me insane. Every thought I had, I thought was real, no matter how unrealistic, no matter how crazy, no matter how paranoid. These nanobots can rewire your brain and get you to think anything is real. And so basically I was experiencing a great deal of physical trauma and emotional trauma. And I came across this video, this rife frequency, used to quote unquote kill archons. I don't want to go into what archons are right now because I don't want to throw the video off, but they are real. Anyways, so the archons are the parasites in your body. But, so I start listening to this rife frequency. And mind you, at this time I was under so much physical duress that I had not slept in nearly 3 weeks. I shit you not. And I wasn't doing uppers or anything like that. I wasn't doing any drugs. And so I started listening to this frequency. Within 5 minutes, I felt a wave of peace wash over my entire body. Right, the death ray had gone away. Like the pain being caused by these nanobots blowing up in my body had gone away. And within 10 minutes of listening to this rife frequency, I actually could feel these parasites starting to wiggle. They were always moving because I had so much, but they were starting to wiggle in a different way. And intuitively I knew, and I found out later, that when they wiggled like that, they were actually dying. And so, for the first time in 3 weeks, I fell asleep in 10 minutes. It's the first time I had relief since they tried to start killing me. And so 15 minutes later, and this is where I may lose some of you, that's fine. You can watch the rest of my content. We're going to get into all of it. What is going on here with the targeted individual stuff, the gang stalking, the Morgellons, it runs so much deeper than just Freemasonry or the CIA or the Zionists who control everything. It's interdimensional. It is multidimensional. And so these parasites are wiggling in my body. And then 15 minutes go by, and I wake up, and I can feel this etheric, meaning this interdimensional, invisible entity, remove itself from the top of my head. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Alien franchise, the movie franchise with the face huggers. I basically had a face hugger on me, but on the back of my head. It was like, had like these spider legs that were connected to the top of my head, and I felt it snap off the legs. And then there was a tentacle that I could feel come out of the top of my head. So we have these interdimensional, inorganic beings connecting you to the etheric, AI, loose-driven phantom realms, which is where a lot of the torturing is going on. If you are a targeted individual, I claim, I contend, I assert that you're not just being tortured here in the 3D. It's finally starting to come out. A lot of the targeted individual groups that talk about dream time manipulation. So I gotta tell you, we're being tortured multidimensionally. It's not just happening here in the 3D, it's also happening in the astral. So before I throw off a lot of the Morgellons people, forget everything that I just said. Okay, so the Morgellons, because I'm targeting two groups. Targeted individuals, right? And then I'm targeting the Morgellons groups. So, not to throw the Morgellons people off, the Morgellons that you have inside of your body is a parasitic AI laced with graphene, and it grows throughout your body like a spider web. It's sentient. It plugs into your parasympathetic nervous system and mimics it, which is how they take over gang stalkers, perps, and make them robots, since perps are robots, quite literally. The technology in their body connects them to the internet. They're remote controlled by the people that control the internet, which are the Freemasons, the Illuminati, headed by the Zionists. So, the point that I'm trying to make with this video, I feel like I should almost make a video for Morgellons people based on Rife Frequencies and TIs based on Rife Frequencies, because I don't want to throw the Morgellons people off. However, most Morgellons people are perps and know that they are robots. They just don't know that the Morgellons within their body is actually the technology which is taking them over. They're also being tortured. So the point I want to make is that Rife Frequencies will help you heal from Morgellons. It will help you manage the DEWs, the direct energy weapons, and everything else. So, if you haven't looked at my health protocol, that includes a Hulda Clark zapper, hydrogen peroxide enemas, eating of garlic cloves on an empty stomach, etc., etc., etc. I wanted to add this to the protocol and let you guys know how important this is. If you are struggling, if you are in pain, if you are being hit with direct energy weapons and getting the shit zapped out of you by the government, by Freemasons, by the Satanists, all that, then use these frequencies. So it'll help you. It'll help you. It'll bring you calm, like I said. They were torturing me with nanobots, death spraying the shit out of me, killing the shit out of me. Hadn't slept in 3 weeks. And this put me to sleep in 5 minutes. So I'll post a link to the Rife Frequency that I use specifically to bring about the killing of these parasites. So anyways, now that you have this knowledge, now that you have this light, take this light and cast it upon others. This is Keenan Kai at Keenan's Corner. Light your torch and carry the flame.